my breakfast for this morning. It's a berry muffin, which I baked a couple days ago and froze. I've reheated it from frozen in my air fryer. Sprinkled it with a packet of sweet leaf stevia. And it is 5 points on Weight Watchers, 308 calories, and it has 12.4 grams of protein in it. I'm also having my usual cup of almond milk. I've had my vitamins and my electrolytes, and I'm out the door. This is for dinner tonight, which I originally made to go. And it looked very pretty when I first made it, but it got knocked around a bit in the fridge, and now it's dinner to stay. So what do we have here? We have 9.2 ounces of canned green beans, low sodium, which I've rinsed. We have 121 grams of beets that were also canned, which were rinsed. We have 98 grams of canned corn, which was also rinsed, and it was low sodium. And then we have 40 grams of cannellini beans, and we have a 3-ounce packet of Nutrisystem tuna salad, which is a lunch entree. So in total, this dinner has 444 calories, 25 grams of protein, and the tuna fish is 3 Weight Watchers points. Everything else is 0. So in total, the meal has 3 Weight Watchers points. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go enjoy this now. Well, hello. I'm back. And I guess you've noticed by now that there was no lunch in this video today. And that's because I didn't get to video a lunch, but I am going to show you what I have for lunch. This chocolate deluxe, which is, it's going to be backwards. If I flip it, it'll look like I had a stroke or Bell's palsy. That's how it looks. For these 2 items I'm showing you, I don't need to flip it. You know what these are. So this bar has 180 calories. It's 6 points on Weight Watchers. It is the chocolate deluxe bar, one of my favorites, and it has 21 grams of protein, which is another thing I like about these bars. And then I had one of my favorites. You recognize this, even if it's backwards. Fairlife Shake, 150 calories, 3 points on Weight Watchers, and 30 grams of protein. So in total, my lunch, looking at my notes, came to 330 calories, 51 grams of protein, and 9 Weight Watchers points. On to, pardon me, my totals for the day. These allergies are just killing me. That being said, the balanced plan, well-balanced plan, if you want to call it a plan, assigns me 1371 calories a day on my Nutricheck app. So today my total came to 1112, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to have something tonight that I'm not going to get to tell you about. But as it stands now, I'm really quite full, and hoping that I don't do one of my lizard brain things, as they call it, some people, when the lizard brain comes out at night and decides to take over my knows better brain, I'll call it that, and I have some things that I should not have. But that is an aside. It's not going to be because I'm not full and I only ate 1,100 calories. It's going to be because that lizard brain just takes over. Totally ridiculous. So my total of protein for the day is 89.4, which is really quite good. Happy about that. I drank all my water. That's really good. And the 5 a day, which is the fruits and vegetables that you shoot for combined, I reached 7.9, so that was very good as well, considering that I didn't have any vegetables at lunch. Dinner was good. I like the idea of mixing a fish protein. I'm sorry, Melina's crying in the background. I'm not going to get up to let her in this room. She's perfectly fine, and she's just being dramatic. So that being said, my apologies. I really enjoy having beans when they're a side dish. Not sure on when they're the main dish. I think I've said this before. So it's something that I guess as time goes on, I'll adjust with. I hope to adjust with in trying to be more plant-based. We'll have to see how it goes. Everything is an adjustment, right? So that's it, really. It was an uneventful day. Just another day of eating, another day in life. My steps were really good. I reached over 14,000. That's another good thing that happened. And this is Thursday's eating and steps being recorded on Friday, and I don't know when you'll see it. but hopefully you'll see it before the weekend's over. So, yeah, I guess that's it. No other words of wisdom, or if I have any words of wisdom, but nothing else to really share other than I'm going to keep plugging along, and I hope that you do the same. I say this all the time. If you don't think your plan is working for you, the plan needs to work for you. Yes, you need to work the plan, but guess what? The plan also needs to work for you. If there are things about your plan that are not working, you need to go back and regroup and figure out why they're not working. Is it just that you've lost your enthusiasm and motivation? Is it that you don't like the foods on the plan? Because guess what? If you don't like the foods on the plan, I don't know how in the world it's going to ever work. It's certainly not going to be sustainable. You know, maybe you could substitute other foods and still remain within your plan. Maybe you need to do a little tweaking here and there. Maybe you need to reach out to the people who provide you with the plan and ask them for some advice on that. Because be surprised that, you know, just because something is written down does not mean that it cannot be, some adjustments can't be made to it. Other than if it's keto or HCG. I always have to refrain from including those because that's a totally different ball game. But even if you're doing vegan, I heard it said today, better that you put an ounce of lean beef into your burger along with all the vegetables and eat that than to have a 4-ounce, very fatty, unhealthy burger. Some people will disagree with me. They think a beef burger is great. If you're on keto, it is great. But if you're trying to get away from eating things with faces because you want to be healthier and go in that direction to get healthier, let's put it that way, you want to be more plant-based, not vegan, but more plant-based, then that is certainly a way to get keep your palate happy and at the same time get all that other good stuff into your body. That's just one simple example. So rather than trash it and say, oh, I can't be plant-based because I can't go without beef, you know, I understand how that person may feel. I'm not going to sit here and be, you know, oh, no. Everybody's entitled to how they feel. You know, rather than to try to ignore how we feel, we need to, I think, address how we feel. And we need to figure out how to get around that, how to do a workaround to get past that so we can continue to go forward. Because we all have issues of one sort or another that have nothing to do with a plan. You know, that is the truth. And I think that when you go with formal plans like Nutrisystem and Weight Watchers, and Jenny Craig is now out of business, but any commercialized plan, it gets to be, to me, at times we forget. It's like we forget what we're here for. We're more focused on the plan than we are on what we're supposed to be doing for our bodies. That's just my own impression. Maybe because I'm at a point in my life where health is more important to me than ever. And maybe when I was younger, I didn't think this way. And I wasn't focused in this direction as much as I am now. And I have achieved my goal weight, and I'm within a few pounds of where I might like to be. And I am in that place now, and maybe that's why it's different. And I might sound alien to some people that are listening. But again, forget about the word diet. Let's talk about being healthy and what it takes to get there, however we plan to get there. We may have to do Nutrisystem first. We may have to do lean cuisine meals 3 times a day first, okay, or whatever. And to get that weight off, to go in the right direction of getting that weight off. And then when we reach that part of it where we can sustain at least to where we got, we may still not be at goal yet, but at least we are able to sustain and keep ourselves wherever we're at, and then get to the next level of thinking, the next turn in the road to where we're now saying, okay, you know, I've done Nutrisystem for, let's say, 3.5 months, the average amount of time supposedly that people are on it. And now what? Do I just go back to the way I was eating and then gain that weight back again and rebound it back and forth? Do I maybe make some changes into the way I was eating before? Take the good parts of Nutrisystem, which in my videos I showed, how to transfer that eating style into regular table food, I'll call it, cook food that you cook, more whole foods. You can do a completely whole food, plant-based meal using the Nutrisystem plan, their formula. I call it a formula. You can definitely do that to go to your next step. Carry that formula with you. Don't just abandon it. And that's the same to be said if you want to eat healthier on Weight Watchers. Let's say you reach goal weight on Weight Watchers and you did it with all the snacks and with all the 1 point little things that you make and the, all that. Okay, you've gotten to goal now, and now you decide, well, gee, I want to really start to look maybe at the things I'm eating. I want to eat healthier. I want to incorporate more of this, and I want to take away less of that. You can still do that and be on Weight Watchers. You don't have to abandon your plan to eat healthier. You have to find and work things in the way that is comfortable for you, not for me. I'm showing what I do, not to tell people they should do it necessarily, but to show that I'm trying to keep going. I'm trying to find my way so that maybe some people that are watching might say, well, if she can do that, then I can do this. And also to be a source of support for all of you, whoever may be watching my videos, to let you know that I am here for you and that I do understand. Because there may be people out there that are alone or feeling alone. You're not alone. There's a difference between physically being alone or within yourself being alone. And I think oftentimes when we are in this situation where we're trying to heal and get healthier and lose tremendous amount of weight and have all those pressures upon us, let's face it, we are alone technically. Only we can do that. No one can go into our bodies or into our brain and do that for us. Wouldn't that be so easy if we could just hook up to a machine and it could tell our brain, well, you're not going to do this, that, and the other thing anymore. And we wake up and, we're not going to do those things to hurt ourselves anymore. We're just going to do everything we're supposed to. Wouldn't that be a great thing? Unfortunately, we don't have that. So the baby steps into bigger steps will lead us into succeeding and getting healthier. Some people can just jump on board and go right ahead, full force. Whether they can sustain that for the rest of their life, I don't know. But I tend to be in the school of thought where if you do things sometimes more gradually, you're not shocking yourself and your system. Do you hear Melina? She is insistent, but I am insistent too, and I apologize if you hear. Anyway, totally lost my train of thought. But sometimes I think it's better to go slower in making changes and building on those changes as you make them to make them more sustainable, because then they truly become part of you. Like my scale is a part of me. Like weighing and prepping my lunch to take with me is a part of me. For some, let's face it, if people are used to going through the drive-through because their life is so chaotic and they don't know they can do things a little bit differently and eat healthier because they just don't know, because they're just trying to live their life and get through each day, and now they're trying to master prepping a lunch every day. Can you just imagine how overwhelmed a person might feel? I get overwhelmed about thinking about making a vegan salad dressing. I don't even want to look at a book of recipes because it overwhelms me. My chest tightens. Now, is that absurd? But yeah, that's me, in all honesty. That's how I feel about it. Then once I do one and it becomes old news and I'm just doing it out of my head, like when I make my vinaigrette. It's not a recipe anymore. I just throw it together and it's done. That's going to be great. But until I can get to that point of just actually starting to make it, that is never going to happen. So at some point we have to make a decision to at least start to prep a lunch to take with us. We have to start somewhere. Let's start with just prepping a sandwich. Put an alarm in the phone in the watch or in the phone that says, okay, Well, it's time for you to prep the sandwich for tomorrow. Stop what you're doing, go prep the sandwich, wrap it up, put it in the fridge, and whatever, in your bag that's going to go out the door, whatever. And then put a note on your pocketbook or near your wallet and keys that says, don't forget to take your lunch. These are things I've done. That's how you go from with baby steps to then, okay, now you've got that mastered. So now maybe you're going to also pack your breakfast. Or vice versa. You're going to do your breakfast first. What have you. These are just examples I'm trying to, off the top of my head, give you. But it's those changes that ultimately lead to big change and things that are going to last the rest of your life. You master them a little bit at a time. For some of us, that's better. I think it's the same as losing the last 5 pounds. Lose it over 6 months if you have to, because the chances of it staying it off will be increased by leaps and bounds because you're gradually getting it off. You're not making drastic changes. You're not going to eat 900 calories a day because in 6 weeks' time you want to fit in that dress, so you want it off. And guess what? 6 weeks later, after that dress goes on you, that dress isn't going to fit you anymore. Been there, done that. So I'm flippy-flopping around. I'm not very happy with myself right now. I do really want to get these off, but at the same time, I know better that the slower it comes off, the better off I'm going to be, because then it will stay off. So on that note, I've been going on and on for 15 minutes here. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to thank you all very much for watching this video. I'm going to make a request of you. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. You will hit the bell and you'll get notified every time I upload, which is not as frequently as it used to be. I apologize, but even more reasons to subscribe so you're notified when I do upload. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really is going to help my channel out tremendously if you do that. And if you give me a comment, oh my goodness, I'd love to hear from you. And aside from that, that also helps my channel. So if you wouldn't mind giving me your thoughts, and if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, that would be great too. All questions are always welcomed. And I also appreciate your input. So if you have anything you'd like to share with me, I'd love to hear it, because it might really help me too. And other people that are on here that watch the channel and see the comments. Okay? So for now, I'm going to send you hugs. I'm going to wish you well. I'm going to please, please, please ask you to please, please, please do the best you can to take care of yourself. There's only one you, and we only get one turn of go around in this life. And it would be great if when we all close our eyes to meet our maker one day, we go out without guilt, without feeling we should have done things that we did not end up doing. And that is my wish for myself and for all of you who are watching, and for everyone else who may not be watching. Anyone that's struggling to be healthy. I wish everybody well, and I hope for all of you that you won't give up. Okay? I'm going to say bye now, and I'll see you next time.